TWF, Rampage, run in or overtake. I am Joey Styles, here at Trini Kwan, and with Aiden English. And today on Rampage or Run In or Data, we're gonna see the teeth. We're gonna see something here today. Fuck. Well, today we're gonna see something. Today, Joey Styles said we're gonna see a newcomer, Keith Lee, to the TWF, and he's gonna be fighting King Kong. Joey Styles says. Yes, he is. Trini Kwan says. We're gonna yes, Trini Kwan. So we're gonna have King Kong fight Keith Lee here today on Rampage or Running or Overtake. And here it is. Trini Kwan said, "Sorry, Joey Styles said, for clearing our throat like that. You got to forgive us for that." Well, Aiden English said it's all right because Keith Lee, wouldn't mind it. He went from EPW to WWE to AEW, and he was one of those wrestlers that Vince McMahon didn't know how to work with. Hi, my name is Keith Lee, and you may know me from my time in EPW or WWE or AEW. At one time, I was the EPW heavyweight fighter. I was also one-time WWE NXT heavyweight fighter. A one-time WWE NXT North New World fighter. I did very good stuff. But when I went from NXT to Raw, at first I was fighting with Randy Orton, then fighting with Sheamus O'Shaughnessy and Drew McIntyre, and then I was out. Yeah, then I was out. Then I was called how was it called? Bareback? Oh no, Bear Claw Keith Lee or whatever I was called. And then I was let go. Now I'm in AEW now, and I'm one half of the AEW Team Fighters. Well, I'll tell you something, Keith Lee says. I heard they're doing a lot of good things, starting to make a lot of good things in WWE, but I don't think I can, but I had to uphold my AEW deal. But there's a man, or I can't really call him a man, who thinks that he's all that, who's been saying that I offshoot from him in some ways, and that would be King Kong. Well, Keith Lee, I'm going to tell you something, King Kong says. Fuck, I can't stand up. I'm going to tell you something. I think you're one hell of a wrestler. I mean, yeah, it was a shame you got let go from WWE, what was it, last year? Or something like that. I mean, yeah, you did a lot of great things in WWE. You did a lot of things in EPW, WWE, AEW. And somehow, some way, you would think that you would have matched Vince McMahon's standard of what a wrestler should look like. Yeah, well, I didn't fit his standard anymore. You want to bring up everything. And Keith Lee, why is it that you and Isaiah Scott are the only black folks in AEW? I don't know. All I know is I didn't come to talk about that. I came to have a wrestling match with you, a wrestling fight with you. And any way I look at it, it's time to put up or shut up. I mean, it's time for you to put up or shut up. At least that's my belief. Behind it. Well, sadly, I think there was a mistake made. I think it's supposed to be Taz. So why is Aiden English here? I don't know. Alright, so now it's Joey my forgiveness, Joey Styles, Trini Kwan, and Taz. Why was Aiden English here? I don't know. So anyway, why don't we just have that match now? And I want you to watch, Taz says, what Keith Lee does. I want you to watch what a great wrestler this man is. What he did in EPW. what he did in WWE, what he do in AEW. Well, we know all the good stuff he's done, Trini Kwan says. And all the great things Keith Lee's done. I know Keith Lee was a former EPW heavyweight fighter, a former WWE NXT heavyweight fighter, a former WWE NXT North New World fighter, and a one half of the AEW team fighter. Oh! And Keith Lee just took down King Kong and body slammed King Kong, Joey Styles says. Somehow, some way, he did it, Trini Kwan said. Keith Lee could do things that a man the man that big should not be able to do. No, I don't, yeah. Well, I can tell you one thing, Joey Styles said. Keith Lee is one of those mini wrestlers that WWE dropped the ball on. And it wasn't, and it was out of Vince McMahon not knowing what to do with these folks. Or, you know, not liking them. Or whatever the grounds were. King Kong is in a bind right now, Joey Styles said. I don't know, Taz says. I know, Taz says. But I know one thing, Keith Lee is handicapping King Kong. Well, King Kong picked up Keith Lee and he body slammed him. And now the former AEW team fighter, former WWE NXT heavyweight fighter, former WWE NXT North New World fighter, and former EPW heavyweight fighter Keith Lee is now in the bind now with King Kong. Well, Trini Kwan said there's only very few men or fiends who ever wrestled or fought King Kong. Godzilla's one of them. And King Kong, we all know what he's done in the TWF. This is his 2-Ford run. And then the Fight Lord just went down, Trini Kwan says. The Fight Lord always goes down, Taz says. Don't you know wakefulness is never their friend? And right now, King Kong, not happy with what Keith Lee's doing to him. And a body slam. And now King Kong wants to now make fun of Keith Lee now. Oh, but Keith Lee got King Kong. And down. It's that hold right there. That's what made him the EPW heavyweight fighter. The WWE NXT heavyweight fighter. The WWE NXT North New World fighter. And one half of the AEW team fighter. Right there. 1, 2, 3. Ding, ding, ding. Here is your winner, Keith Lee. And now Keith Lee has beat King Kong here today on Rampage. Well, I tell you one thing, Taz says. Keith Lee is doing great things in AEW. Keith Lee did great things in EPW and WWE too, Taz says. Well, Joey Styles says it'll be seen. Will Keith Lee go back to WWE for a 2-Ford run? We don't know. He just shook King Kong's hand. King Kong just shook his hand. We won't know. And now King Kong has been beat by Keith Lee here today on Rampage, or Run-In, or Overtake. Well, and now I know Jonathan, and now, what do you think about this match, Trini Kwan? Well, King Kong, Keith Lee put on a great match, a great fight, a wrestling match, a wrestling fight. 2 skilled wrestlers, 2 skilled fighters. I thought it was a great match. Yeah, I know, Taz says. Keith Lee, you know, does things that men that big should not do. And it's a shame that he didn't do very well once he went from NXT to Raw. Well, I do know one thing. Joey Styles now is now going to be talking with King Kong after Keith Lee after his match here. Alright. He's going to talk King Kong. Alright. Joey Styles, I'm going to be talking with King Kong here. After his match with Keith Lee. Alright, King Kong, you were in the ring now with Keith Lee, the former EPW, former WWE NXT heavyweight fighter, former WWE NXT North New World fighter, and AEW team fighter. Yeah, I was in the ring with him, Jonathan Coachman. I know all the things Keith Lee has done in EPW and WWE and AEW. You know, a man like him can do things that other men cannot do. And I hope that one day Keith Lee goes back to WWE again. But I do know one thing. Keith Lee and me had a great wrestling match. You know, he threw me around, I threw him around. But I'm going to tell you something, Jonathan Coachman. If I have to get in the ring with him again, I will. Because this is not done between the two of us. I think we can have another match, another fight. So you're saying there's going to be an ongoing match between King Kong and Keith Lee? That's what I'm saying, Jonathan Coachman. I'm saying there's going to be a lot of things going on between Keith Lee and King Kong. Well, that was my talk with King Kong. Back to you, Joey Styles. Well, thank you, Joey Styles, for talking with King Kong here today on Rampage, or Run-In, or Overtake. And that's all the time we got here for Rampage, or Run-In, or Overtake. I am Joey Styles for Trini Kwan and Taz. We hope you like Rampage, or Run-In, or Overtake, and we'll see you tomorrow for Power or Might.